Honest with you, the situation is kind of despicable. So let's talk about the 122-pound division. WBC champion is Leo Santa Cruz. WBA Super World champion is Guillermo Rigondeax. WBA regular champion is Scott Quigg. WBO champion is Guillermo Rigondeax. And the IBF champion is Carl the Jackal, the other Jackal Frampton. I'm T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live, February 12, 2015. The situation is kind of despicable. So right now, February the 12th, in an interview on FightHype.com, you can go check it out, Oscar De La Hoya confirmed that Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy Promotions were working on a fight between WBC, Leo Santa Cruz, 122-pound champion, and WBA, WBO, WBA Super World and WBO champion Guillermo Rigondeax. Now, at this point in time, it looks like Guillermo Rigondeax is going to be fighting a fighter by the name of Shingo Wake, a Japanese fighter. Don't call him a bum. And I mean, whatever you think about his skills inside the ring, the guy earned the shot. He's a mandatory for the WBA Super World title if he wins his next fight, which is a few days from right now, if I'm correct. He's 17-4-2 with 10 KOs, and pretty much, to be perfectly honest with you, his face is going to get smashed to shit. He really doesn't have any defense, and he's going to get Cuban schooled to its finest form. And in fact, he may take a defeat worse than Hisashi Yamagata when he got his jaw broken, just was aimlessly walking around the ring. Listen, if you didn't see the fight, at the end of the fight, dude was hurting so bad, he was walking around in the middle of the ring like, dumb. So you see the announcers trying to come up to him and everything. He just walking around tall and shit. And mind you, he was 6 feet tall. So he's just walking just around the ring, just aimlessly like, he kept touching his jaw. I'm like, yo, Rigondeax fuck dude up. But see, here's the situation I have a problem with. It's like, what can Leo Santa Cruz say to the media? What can he say in his next interview? Can he say, well, I can fight Abner Maris. I can fight Johnny Gonzalez, Gary Russell. But he can fight all those guys, and yes, we will be happy with those fights. But at the same time, either him or hhis management team ducked Guillermo Rigondeax, and that is the way it is. You know how certain situations where you can say, well, he really didn't duck him because he wanted to do this. A part of the buyout agreement, when all those Golden Boy fighters or former Golden Boy fighters or fighters that were fighting on Golden Boy cards left to go join PBC, or were bought out from Golden Boy to join PBC, and now they're strictly Haymon fighters. A part of the agreement was that Golden Boy was going to keep, Oscar De La Hoya was going to keep a certain amount of fighters. And that when it came to those fighters, that Oscar De La Hoya would have control over those fighters, even though Haymon was advising him, and Haymon would have little interference. Well, when Oscar De La Hoya goes out to give the fans what we want to see, a fight where Guillermo Rigondeax, WBO, WBA Super World 100 and Ring Super World 122-pound champion, and Leo Santa Cruz, WBC, in a fight where many feel Leo Santa Cruz is just going to clearly get outboxed. To me, I said he has a chance of winning in a controversial way, but I talked about that in the previous video. But what I'm trying to say is, as soon as Oscar De La Hoya is saying, okay, I got control of Leo Santa Cruz, I've been seeing all this shit on social media and everywhere. Fans want Rigondeax versus Leo Santa Cruz. It seems as though he was in touch and he understood what the fans wanted when it came to that fight. So as soon as we hear negotiations, starting on Oscar De La Hoya, starting to work on the fight, about 3 weeks or so ago, after the Deontay Wilder Bermane Severn card, when he fought, Leo Santa Cruz fought Jesus Ruiz, and then on December 31st, that was a couple of weeks before that, Rigondeax had fought Hisashi Yamagata. So as soon as Rigondeax beat Yamagata, we was thinking like, Leo Santa Cruz fighting on the Deontay Wilder undercard, we pretty much know that he's not going to fight Rigondeax if he wins. But once the buyout of Haymon fighters and Oscar De La Hoya got to keep Leo Santa Cruz, I thought to myself, yes. So Leo Santa Cruz, we was going to get Rigondeax, but then guess what? Al Haymon swoops down from the rafters, grabs Leo Santa Cruz. Leo Santa Cruz pulls out those thank you Al Haymons from his pocket, and cashes them in like the money in the bank. And then it's like, all right, no Rigondeax for you. So it's just a crazy situation. Now, I understand Al Haymon does whatever he wants. I understand that he has his own plan for his boxers. You know, and I understand there is a logical chance that Guillermo Rigondeaux could end up an Al Haymon fighter, or Guillermo Rigondeaux could end up facing Leo Santa Cruz on NBC. Part of me, a little part of me is thinking that even though Leo Santa Cruz is basically Al Haymon's son, Leo Santa Cruz named his son after Al Haymon, and they're apparently really close. But then again, Al Haymon's close with all his fighters, from what we understand. I'm thinking to myself that if Leo Santa Cruz loses, then Al Haymon wants Leo Santa Cruz to lose on his watch. So an NBC thing would help a guy like Rigondeaux tremendously. But do we know if that's going to happen or not? No, it's speculation. So as it stands right now, it looks like, you know, Al Haymon came in, swooped in, Leo Santa Cruz and him talked about, like, no, I don't want to fight Rigondeaux right now, or I can't beat Rigondeaux right now. Whatever the case may be, it looks like ducking. You know, so, yo, you better be, come here. Why can't you just sit in the cage? See, what it is, like, when I do videos, like, if he's not laying down, then he'd be walking around, like, because he knows I'm occupied. So he'd start doing sneaky shit, like walking around, sniffing trash cans, you know, like doing dog stuff. He's sitting down there. But anyway, like I said, the situation is somewhat despicable, because it's like, what can Leo Santa Cruz say? You know, what can he say? And you know, he's a nice guy. He's always smiling and all that stuff. So if they ask him, you know, like me, I would have to ask him, like, can you talk about the thought process of the buyout? You know, basically, I would have to ask him, but I would have to word it in a way to ask him, like, yo, basically, like, yo, do you know that the buyout looks like you were ducking? So it's like, was it because you didn't want to fight Rigondeaux? Or is it because you have bigger plans? Of course they're going to have bigger plans. Peter Quillen says he had bigger plans. Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, Deontay Wilder, Adrian Broner all had bigger plans. You know, but we haven't seen them yet. So, you know, how can, right now, can it be justified, him not fighting Guillermo Rigondeaux? Can it be justified? I just don't think so, especially with the way it happens. Like, once again, I say it, and I know I'm rambling a little bit because I'm getting a little emotional. Oscar De La Hoya is working on making the fight. Then Al Haymon comes down, takes Leo Santa Cruz, throws some bread at Oscar De La Hoya, because Leo Santa Cruz had a buyout clause in his contract. So basically, even though Haymon was allowing Oscar De La Hoya to keep him, even though he doesn't have him anymore, Haymon could just come in and say, nah, we're going to buy you out. Nah, it's cool. So what did he want him to do? Did he want him to keep fighting guys like Manuel Roman or Jesus Ruiz? I just don't know. And plus, Leo Santa Cruz has been given too many passes, especially when it comes to the 122, 126 pound divisions, where it's very deep. So it's like, how long can he hold on, you know? But that's just my opinion. I'm not going to be sitting here all day rambling and raving and anything. I'm T-Street Controversy, T-Street Controversy Live, your #1 source for boxing on YouTube, and that is pretty much proven right now. I cut the hairs on my nose. I cover every single major fight live. So meaning moments after a fight goes off, you get my genuine reactions to whatever happened, or whatever going on in the post-fight of the fight, if that makes sense. So this weekend, what I'll be doing right now, February 12th, 2014, on Valentine's Day, yes, what I'll be doing is this. See, I'm going out Friday. I always do like that. Then in the daytime, I'm not going to be out there all night, you know, like with everybody out with their girls and everything. No, I'm going to take her ass out. Like, I'm going to take her ass out tomorrow at like 6 p.m., something like that. And then, you know, Saturdays, like I said, nothing messes with my Saturdays. Nothing messes with my Saturdays. You know, so, and then after I do my Google Hangout Saturday night, you know, take her out, you know, I'll have probably, you know, my 2 beer limit, you know, then come home and baby, I'm hot just like you know, I need some loving. T-Street Controversy Live.